In 2011, a multinational team of paleontologists found the fossilised remains of a 43-million-year-old four-legged whale. The remains were discovered in the fossil-rich marine sediments of the coastal plains of Peru, about half a mile inland at Playa Media Luna. The paleontologists came to the conclusion that the massive marine mammal's 4-metre-long body evolved to give it the ability to hold a steady position underwater, swim, have short periods of time where it could walk on the land, and also crawl along the bottom of the seabed. The semi-aquatic whale has drawn comparisons to the modern-day otter and beaver due to its 4 legs capable of supporting its weight and its powerful tail that gives it underwater advantages that would include the ability to float almost completely steady while underwater. Paleontologists think the discovery will reveal previously unknown details on the evolution of the whale and let us know how it advanced across the world's oceans. Dr. Olivia Lambert of the Royal Belgian Institute of Natural Sciences said, "This is the most complete specimen ever found for a 4-legged whale outside of India and Pakistan." Probably the main reason why this discovery has captured the interest of the paleontological community so much is that the earliest whales were believed to have first evolved in South Asia around 50 million years ago, which is actually the same time this one would have been in and around the regions of South America. In 2018, researchers in Japan found a 300-year-old ninja oath. They had been aware of its existence for more than 50 years, but until that day in 2018, it had never actually been seen. Ninja warriors were sent on espionage and sabotage missions and were forbidden from ever telling anyone about their secrets, thanks to oaths such as the one recently discovered. The fascinating document shows how strict ninjas were to never divulge the secrets of their spying techniques, sabotage methods, and deadly martial arts, for if they did, they believed they would face an eternal reprisal from 60 gods for generations and generations. The oath was found amongst 130 other ancient documents that were given to Mie University by the Kizu family, a family that was once a ninja clan in the town of Iga, about 40 miles from Kyoto. The oath holds 6 promises, and it was signed 300 years ago by a ninja named Inosuke Kaizu, who belonged to the Iga mountain clan, who were based near the ancient imperial capital of Kyoto. Inosuke Kaizu was the 5th head and the final ninja from the Kaizu family. It is strongly believed that the 300-year-old document had been given back to his family after his death. More details of the oath revealed that the ninja expressed a lot of gratitude to his superior for passing ninjutsu, or the art of the ninja, onto him. He also reinforced his will to keep his secrets by saying that he would never even consider telling his children or brothers, and he also describes how he would never dishonorably use his skills to steal from others. Yoshiki Takao, associate professor at Mie University's Ninja Research Center, had this to say. Thieves and ninjas did the same thing, sneaking into other people's houses, but ninjas prized morality highly. Ninjas were public servants in today's terms, providing security services and collecting information. On March 21, 2011, Sean Funk, who was a miner with 12 years' experience, was digging in Alberta's Millennium Mine. He had encountered many fossils during his working life, but nothing he had seen before would compare to what he discovered that day. After hitting something harder than the surrounding rock, Sean needed to take a closer look. That closer look revealed something that looked very unfamiliar to him. He described row after row of sandy brown discs, each ringed in gunmetal grey stone. These unfamiliar looking rocks were in fact bones from a dinosaur species previously unknown to science. Estimated to have been at least 110 million years old and weighing in at well over a ton, the fossilised dinosaur remains were that of a huge armoured plant eater, which was given the name Borealopelta. What makes this discovery so much more amazing are the conditions that kept the dinosaur so well preserved. The armoured plant eater lived in what we now know as Western Canada, until it somehow ended up in the sea. The conditions of its watery grave helped preserve its armoured body in such fascinating detail. For example, the skull still shows fossilised skin and its patterned armoured plates. Judging by the remaining traces of coloration within the skin, the scientists studying the remains were even able to tell what colours were present on the body of the giant herbivore while it was living all those millions of years ago. In 2018, Swiss archaeologists released a statement saying that they had discovered what they believe is the earliest metal depiction of a human body part ever uncovered in Europe. Originally discovered in 2017 by treasure hunters using metal detectors near Lake Biel in Switzerland, the bronze hand, which weighs roughly 1 pound or 450 grams, is just a bit smaller than the average adult hand size and is estimated to be an incredible 3,500 years old. Andreas Scherr, who's the head of ancient history and Roman archaeology at the Bern Archeological Service, said, "We had never seen anything like it. We weren't sure if it was authentic or not, or even what it was." The archaeological community around the world were very interested in the meaning of the bronze hand, and some theories put forward suggested it could have been an ancient prosthetic, but these were eventually dismissed due to it being so fragile. One of the interesting details was its cuff, which was made of a gold foil and was bonded to the wrist with some kind of organic glue. Inside was a socket that would have made it possible to be mounted onto a pole. Through the use of carbon dating, the researchers were able to determine that the organic glue dated back to somewhere during the Bronze Age, between 1400 and 1500 BC. After studying the bronze hand, Andreas Scherr then conducted a 7-week excavation of the area where she found the remains of a middle-aged man. In the grave were small pieces of the same gold foil used on the cuff of the bronze hand, as well as broken fingers which were missing from the sculpture. With this evidence, it was obvious that the hand was originally buried with this man. Other artifacts buried along with him included a long bronze pin and a spiral, which was likely used to style hair. The thing that made finding the hand even more significant is that in thousands of Bronze Age grave discoveries, finding metal objects in them is very rare, and finding gold in Bronze Age graves in Switzerland almost never happens, and was described as unique and pretty special.